I'm Sami from A Sunny Side Up Life, and in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 4 different kinds of budgets so you can determine which type of budgeting is best for you, and I'm also going to share the pros and cons to each of them. Before we jump into that, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos. There are several different ways to budget, and there are even more than the 4 that I'm going to talk to you about in this video, but these are the 4 that I see most used in the debt-free community. Number 1 is basically no budget at all. So this is where you basically just check your bank balances to make sure that you're not overdrafted. You check your spending money and say, okay, yeah, I have a couple $100 left until payday, I'm good to go. But other than that, you don't really give it much forethought, meaning that you don't plan ahead and tell your money where to go before you actually spend it, which is pretty much where most of us are before we technically start our debt-free journey. The pro to this is that you don't really feel restricted. You spend your money whenever you make it, and a lot of people feel much more freedom without doing a budget. The con to this, of course, is that you don't really spend your money intentionally, and most people figure out pretty quickly that they end up just spending all of their money on frivolous things, restaurants, clothes, going out, things like that, and they don't really end up saving much or investing much in their future. Number 2 are the cash envelope systems. This is where basically you have no use for plastic in your life, or maybe you have abused credit cards or even debit cards in your past, and you feel like you kind of have to wean yourself off of them and kind of regain your strength with spending. The pro to this is that it can be really helpful, especially if you have struggled with a shopping addiction or struggled to not log your debit card purchases and things like that in the past. The pro is that it's really hard to go over budget when you only allow yourself to spend with cash. The con to this is that it's pretty inconvenient and almost impossible and unrealistic in the digital world that we live in today. A lot of people tell me that they wanted to do cash envelopes, or maybe they started with cash envelopes, but then they discovered, hey, I can't pay at the pump. I can't order things from Amazon, even if they're things that they actually need. They can't do like grocery pickups and things like that where you order on apps. Number 3 is the 50-30-20 method. With this method, 50% of your income goes to your needs, 20% goes to savings, and 30% gets spent on your wants. The pro to this method is that it is very specific and it's very easy to follow. It takes all of the guesswork out of planning your budget. You follow the percentage, you make sure everything fits in the percentage. If it doesn't, you cut it out. The con to this is that it doesn't always fit everyone's true priorities and everyone's true goals. Plus, I also see that it could cause you to spend more than you actually should, and sometimes even save less than you actually could. So in our case, for example, you guys probably know that we downsized our house significantly about 3 years ago, so we could live on about 60% of our income and therefore save 40% of our income. And we've followed this for the most part. But if we were to follow the 50-30-20 rule, we would have only been saving 20% when we could have been saving 40%. So although this is a really great method to start with, or maybe somewhat follow in the beginning, but it's not always ideal for everyone's situations. Number 4 is a zero-based budget. So this is where you give every single dollar a job to do beforehand. You tell every single dollar where to go. If it is going to bills, to spending, to saving, to debt, whatever it is, to the penny, you make a plan for it before any of it moves anywhere. The pro to this, of course, is that this can align with anyone's goals or anyone's priorities. You simply just, when you have money left over, you decide, okay, what do I want to do with this money that's left over, and where do I want to put it? Do I want some of it to go to those wants and things that I don't necessarily need? Do I want to pay extra on debt, or save more, or invest more, or do a combination of all of the things? The con to this is that it can easily allow lifestyle creep. If you're not following the strict parameters of the 50-30-20 rule, you could slowly let your lifestyle creep up. And in our case, if we were to get sloppy, we might not save that full 40% that we could potentially save, which is what happens a lot when you're not following a really strict percentage method. So overall, overall, for me personally, and usually what I recommend to my clients, is doing a very specific zero-based budget. And this is where, yeah, you do tell all of your money where to go, and you don't worry necessarily about the percentages because we're more worried about hitting the goals that are important to that specific family's needs. But again, like I mentioned with the zero-based budget, you have to be adamant about it. You have to continuously check in with it and make sure that you are not allowing for that lifestyle creep. So it does involve you being up on your game, but that is what I usually recommend to my clients and what I recommend to you as well. So I hope that this video was helpful to you. I would love to know in the comments below, what type of budgeting methods have you used in the past? What worked, what didn't work, and have you thought about changing the method that you use? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to chat with you. Okay, that is all for me today, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.